as Bitcoin hovers just below $60,000. Bitcoin price indicating that the bull market is still just beginning. All the while, PayPal adding crypto to checkouts and some new interesting developments on the Bitcoin ETF side of things. Is a Bitcoin ETF just around the corner? What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, turn the notification bells on. Let's jump into the video. This is Bitcoin zoomed out on the weekly. So much happening in not only Bitcoin, but the entire crypto space. And it's exciting. If you own Bitcoin, if you own altcoins, there's so much happening and it's happening so fast. So zoomed out on the weekly, this is the price data. And it's the story of Bitcoin. It's the story of this parabolic rise that it's been on since its inception. So I want to start here, and this kind of plays into the weekly chart here. I was tagged in this tweet yesterday by Ada Tower, and I didn't even see this tweet yesterday, so I'm glad I was tagged in it. But look at this, Bitcoin just getting started. See for yourself. And this chart, this graph is so cool looking. It really breaks down, all four epics surrounding Bitcoin halving for the last like 4 cycles. And you can kind of get a sense of where we are in this cycle. Now, this chart is basically scaled out, meaning when we look at Epic 4 here, the chart is scaled 20 times larger than the previous Epic. So right now, you can see the growth trajectory in after each halving for Bitcoin. And right now, Bitcoin just so much more upside potential in terms of where we are in this cycle, Epic 4. And so what's really cool about that is in my videos lately, I've been really just zooming out on this chart, the weekly chart, and discussing this. We are 308 days post the halving. And this white line right here is Bitcoin halving. We're 308 days post that halving, 2020. 308 days post the 2016 halving, you see where Bitcoin was right here, right in this move, May, June, July. And so look at what transpired after then in that part of the Bitcoin cycle. So here we are hovering just below at around $60,000. And that's where we are in this cycle. And now you look at something like this and you're like, okay, this makes sense. $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 potential for Bitcoin is just 100% in play. There are no guarantees, obviously, but what's ultimately so bullish about this data is what's transpiring across the crypto world. Right now, we're at a $1.86 trillion market cap, the global crypto market cap. And Cathie Wood, she put it perfectly. Cathie Wood on Bitcoin, $1 trillion is nothing compared to where this will ultimately be. So answering the question, and this is ARK Invest CEO, by the way, Cathie Wood, what happened? Speaking at a CBOE panel, she said, if we add all of the potential demand relative to the limited supply, we come up with incredible numbers over the long term. We have just begun. $1 trillion is nothing compared to where this will ultimately be. Zoom out on the picture, everybody. The supply demand factor that is in play right now, when you have headlines like this, and this is nothing crazy. Chipotle giving away $100,000 in Bitcoin. It's not saying that Chipotle is accepting Bitcoin or anything, but this is the global environment now. Chipotle is huge, and they're just randomly, let's give away $100,000 in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the talk of the town, and I don't think it's the talk of the town similar to 2017, where it was the talk of the town very briefly and then it went away. I think Bitcoin, crypto, is here to stay. Again, all the while, PayPal to let users pay for purchases at checkout using Bitcoin and other cryptos. So payments processing giant PayPal announced Tuesday it will let users check out with crypto, offering options such as Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, or Bitcoin Cash. Users who have enough cryptocurrency, and this is how it'll work, to cover a potential purchase on a website that accepts PayPal checkout will see it pop up as a payment option. PayPal has simply integrated into the crypto ecosystem. It's just there. That's life now in terms of merchants, adoption, online shopping. This is what's happening, everybody. And then what I really like about this is not only what is transpiring, but the possibilities. And it's a whole ocean, it's a whole sea of possibilities that hasn't even transpired. I really liked this article. This was from yesterday. What happens when Walmart buys $1 billion of Bitcoin? Now, the author noted, and this is on Bitcoin Magazine, I'll put a link in the description. They noted, Walmart has not announced a purchase of $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, but it will. And let me tell you what's going to happen when it does. And so that's what this is about. And he goes kind of into MicroStrategy, Square, Coinbase, multi-billion dollar companies, traded on NASDAQ, and all the adoption at hand. And what happens when a company like Walmart gets on board, right? We see PayPal on board, but what happens when a company like Walmart buys Bitcoin? It's the chain effect that is already occurring, from what MicroStrategy has started doing to, what Tesla has done is insane. And the ripple effect is truly just beginning. And again, that storyline ties into what you see here in terms of the third to fourth halving and what's transpiring now in this bull cycle and what's transpiring on these charts. This is all happening now at right around $60,000 Bitcoin. And again, I'm not trying to be over bullish, trying to hype things up. I still do think there will be bear markets. I still do think there's going to be ridiculous volatile dips. But again, what is being set now for the foundation is absolutely incredible in terms of Bitcoin adoption on a global scale. So I want to talk about the Bitcoin ETF stuff because that is really interesting what's transpiring now and the conversation surrounding it. Before we jump into there, everybody, CRYPTO.TRADER.TAX sponsoring this video. Taxes are coming up. Pay your taxes. Just pay your taxes. Do it right, but I'm telling you, just get it done in minutes, get it out of the way, avoid the stress of it all. That's like a huge thing for me. I use CRYPTO.TRADER.TAX. So happy to have them on as a sponsor. Simply hook up to exchanges, import the data, run the report. And I'm telling you, I did a demo video on this. It takes minutes. I showed you in real time. Download your report and it's done in minutes as opposed to hours or days. What's really cool, CRYPTO.TRADER.TAX, they're, for Crypto Capital Venture subscribers, you can enter your name and email. You enter this raffle to win a free report. It's like their ultimate report, $300 value. But everybody, their products to do this are so affordable. It's absolutely no brainer. Just take a couple minutes, get your taxes done in regards to crypto, do things correctly, and it's just an incredible necessity. It really is. You save so much time and stress. So thanks CryptoTrader.tax for sponsoring this video. And now on to Bitcoin ETF. SEC Commissioner explains why a delayed Bitcoin ETF has consequences. A delayed Bitcoin ETF has consequences. Since being appointed in 2018 by former President Donald Trump, SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce has been affectionately known as Crypto Mom throughout the industry. So this is like an interview, and this was on Forbes, right? And it's Forbes interviewing Pierce. And I want to go down here. The question is really interesting, and the answer even more interesting. There are new Bitcoin ETF applications in front of the commission. There's a lot of excitement about it, especially with the rally. Bitcoin under $60,000. Bitcoin and the broader crypto market have been performing exceptionally well. Has this impacted the likelihood of an ETF potentially being approved? I like the question of, is price affecting things like the decision making? Pierce says, my view has been that we're overdue on approving one of these things. I guess the question will be, at what point do we start to say, wait a minute, retail investors are accessing this stuff in other ways. Would it be better for us just to allow them to access it through these more standard exchange traded products that are more familiar? We just saw Canada approve one or more ETFs. I think those kinds of things have a real effect. And I mean, what an answer. And I think, and there's no guarantees of what's going to happen here, but I think we're starting to see where this is really trending, truly where it is trending. This other question, a bunch of publicly traded crypto and blockchain related stocks have taken off. MicroStrategy has returned about 600% to investors over the last 9 months. So they're asking the question of when things like this are happening, can this level of activity have an impact on any ETF being approved? Here's the answer. The fact that retail investors are looking for other ways at companies that have some kind of connection with crypto to get access to it, I think that's another arrow in my quiver for saying, look, why don't we open up an avenue that is, again, more standard for getting access through our securities markets? So this is a great article. Read it. There's a lot more to it. But, SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce really breaking things down. You really get a sense of where her head's at in terms of crypto and what is transpiring right now. Again, there's no guarantees of what's about to happen, but I'm telling you, it seems like it's going into a certain direction, and it seems like it could potentially be a really bullish direction for Bitcoin, for this mainstream adoption of Bitcoin. All the while, we're zooming out on the charts, and we know the story being told right now, everybody. So again, not to be overly bullish, but the confluence of all of these things is simply bullish. And it's not like this is happening when maybe we're in towards the end of this epic, where wherever that may end up in price. It's not like this is happening and we're more along the lines of right here in a bull market. We're still all the way back here in this bull market cycle, 308 days post halving. So really just so many interesting things happening in terms of Bitcoin. I wanted to break it down in this video, zoom out on the charts, everybody. The opportunity, in my opinion, it's a good one. But time will tell how this all plays out. Be careful out there. I appreciate all you cruising by. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.